Okay, I've had a couple of you still ask what happened with the gateway. Well, for quite some time I gave up on it. Every time I try to install Windows, I get a quarter of the way through or halfway through, I get these random errors and crashes, and I just could not figure out why. And finally, it was the simplest and easiest thing. Who would have thought? Bad IDE cable. I changed the IDE cable, got rid of that problem. I mean, this cable looks good. Usually when these go bad, it's obvious when they're bad. I mean, they'll have a cut or something, but for some reason, so that took care of that little problem. So I could at least get an operating system installed on it. Then, once I got Windows 98 on it, every time I would try to install the sound drivers, it would crash and do all kinds of weird, stupid things. No matter what driver, I mean, I tried the official driver from Gateway, I tried this driver, that driver. Every time I would enable the onboard audio, because this motherboard has onboard audio, it would just get weird, do wacky stuff, couldn't install drivers. So, okay, there's got to be something. The conclusion I come to, there's got to be something wrong with the built-in audio on that motherboard. So basically, I went into the BIOS, disabled the onboard audio, and I put a ISA sound card in it, and that seems to work after about the third one. Couldn't get that card to work, couldn't get that card to work. This card would work, but I really didn't want to use this card because this card's too good for this machine. So finally got the sound work. Finally got all the drivers to work, and she seems to be fairly stable now. So it's 2 days of fiddling with it. I guess you could blame the coronavirus lockdown for that. Gives me something to do anyway. It was quite an interesting challenge getting this one going. But yeah, she's up and fully running. Also, I went to the garage and did a lot of scrubbing, cleaning. Oh yeah, I also painted it. The silver paint I had was a little more, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Let's see, can I rotate this to the back without disturbing things here? Hold on. Maybe I can get to the back side. Yeah, the paint is a little more, I guess glittery is the word. It's, you know, it's not a nice flat metallic gray that I like it to be, but it's not too bad. I mean, at least it covered the rust up. I had a little bit of a run on the inside, but that's no big deal. At least it was on the inside, but got rid of the rust anyway. Motherboard cleaned up nice. Surprisingly, the case really shined up nice. That really turned out good. This is the other side panel over here. That whitened right up real nice, along with that side panel there. The front panel is a little bit of a different story. I just painted it. I was going to do the retro bright thing, but it had so many scuffs and scratches that I just said heck with it. I painted it. The power button, I did fix that. That was quite a little fun project too. Can I do this without breaking it? Well, it's hard to see, but I took some super glue and like a piece of a little piece of plastic, and I glued a piece of plastic on there. And I took the Dremel tool, made like a new shaft for it, so now I don't know if you can see that or not. Yeah, you can see where I glued a new piece of plastic in there, so the button doesn't fall in and stick anymore. So that turned out pretty good. So overall, it's going good. And many of you ask, well, what do you use to clean all this stuff up? It's just good old-fashioned scrubbing, the best thing to start out with is warm water, like you're going to take a bath, and dish soap. Just a plain old scrub pad. Don't get too carried away with this because you can scratch it, but I mean this is only if it's you get something really stubborn on there. Toothbrush to get the little nooks and crannies. Q-tips works pretty good. Like markers, you know, it's like someone wrote on with a marker. These really work good. These magic erasers will take a lot of weird marks and stuff off. You got to be a little careful with them though too, because it'll take off. If you get a little too aggressive with it, it can like rub off lettering and stuff. You know, shop towels. Goo Gone, that really works good for if you do want to remove a sticker. But make sure you only get the orange Goo Gone. If you get the goof off, this stuff is really nasty. You don't want to use something like this. I accidentally did. I grabbed this for when I was cleaning something at one time, and I thought it was just regular Goo Gone, and no, it's not. This stuff, you don't want to use anything like this. This is pretty abrasive, this stuff. This will take anything and anything off. So Goo Gone works really good. Isopropylene alcohol works really good for cleaning stuff. Pledge multi-surface. Armor All, like when you clean the dash of your car, that really helps shine. That's good for shining up the plastics. I've had really good luck with that. Sometimes WD-40 kind of works okay. Anything metal that's starting to corrode and rust, good old vinegar will take care of that. Of course, once you clean it with the vinegar, you want to clean the vinegar off with the alcohol. For contacts and stuff, Deoxit works really good for the contacts, you know, like the gold fingers like on the cards and stuff. That works really good. So that's most of the cleaning products that I use for cleaning and shining things up. Yeah, it's just good old-fashioned elbow grease. Just sit there and rub and scrub until it cleans up. So that's some of my arsenal there. So all in all, I don't think it turned out too bad. I say that the paint doesn't quite match the sides. It's a little teeny bit more yellow than what it should be. When I spray painted it looked perfect, but as the paint dried it did yellow just a little bit, but at least it's nice and clean. And so yeah, overall I think it looks alright. And of course we're going to live with the period. We got to have all the period correct stuff. Got to have the CRT, of course. I mean, who didn't have this set up in the late 90s, you know? The old crummy plastic beige speakers and a clicky keyboard. And of course you got to have a mouse with the old ball that you got to clean every 5 minutes. So, come on, who didn't have this set up in the late 90s? This is all we had. And that was the way it was. So let's get this sucker going and see how it goes. Alrighty, here we go. Gotta love them old sounds. But yeah, if you want to relive your ultimate childhood, it does. It takes a little while to get this old stuff going again. It's been quite a challenge getting that going again. It's a little slower than what I like it to be yet, but I did use a 20 gig mechanical hard drive. I'm kind of short on SSD drives right now. That might speed it up a little bit. But anyway, yeah, it's got a Pentium 3, 450 megahertz. I maxed the RAM out with 512. According to the manual, this motherboard is only supposed to be able to go up to 300 and something. It's only supposed to take 128 gig sticks, but just for kicks and giggles and fun, I put a 256 stick in there, and it recognizes it. Seems to work great. So it's got two 128s and one 256 for a total of 512. So it seems to work great on that. It also has a pretty hefty, good video card in it for at the time. It's got a NVIDIA GeForce MX 420, 64 is it megabytes? Yeah, 64 megabytes of video RAM. So that already surpasses what you could get at the time. So it's got a pretty good hefty duty video card in it. All the drivers, boy, that mouse, I forgot how finicky the wheel mouses are. So yeah, everything is good. So it's all good there. Let's see how it handles the game for at the time. That sounds terrible. It doesn't quite sound right. I don't know. Sounds a little too tinny. But then these speakers are junk. But yeah, seems to be working pretty good. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to clean that mouse again already. Oh yeah, brings back a lot of memories. So, alrighty. That's the end of that show. Anyway, one last show of the inside. Yeah, like I say, I got the memory, the RAM pretty much maxed out there. It's got a 20 gigabyte Seagate hard drive. If I order another one of, I might order another one of these, or get an SD card to ID adapter. This is the only one I got left. I'm getting a little short on stuff, so I didn't want to use this on this computer just yet. I'm kind of saving this for another project. Another thing I do wish I had, like I say, that game didn't sound quite right. This is not the best sound card. I wished I had another Sound Blaster 16. Them seem to be the best for sound for games. I was tempted to put this in there, but this is a little too nice of a card to be putting in an old Windows 98 machine. This would be better for a Pentium 4 Windows XP machine, but it would work. I don't know. Ain't decided. By the way, It's probably about as good as it's going to get for now. Oh, I did stick a USB 2.0 for another set of USB ports on the back. Them are USB 2.0, which a little nicer for transferring data because the ones on the motherboard are only 1.1. So I did add that. And a network card. So overall it's not too shabby anyway. So yeah. Anyway, she's pretty much complete, and I think I pretty much did everything I can to it to make it work. So I wish I was smart enough to fix the onboard sound, but I'm not even sure where to begin on that one. But anyway, that just gives you an idea of what you can run into when you're trying to build yourself a retro gaming setup from your childhood. But yeah, this ain't a bad little setup. I mean, if you want to relive exactly what you had back in the day. Like I say, I've had setups like this for quite a while, you know, the old CRT, crummy speakers, and so yeah. Anyway, that's it for now. The gateway is fixed up as much as it's gonna get fixed up. And this was, if you remember in the previous videos, this one was in pretty rough shape. So yeah. So I guess that's it for now. Bye.